bruising defeat in Europe, Liverpool look to get back on track, but a trip to Selhurst Park stands in their way against a motivated Crystal Palace side in need of a win. Klopp has won all 7 visits to Selhurst Park, but has stressed that this is a very tough game. Let's look at the teams then, starting with the hosts. After consideration, Patrick Vieira has chosen not to risk top scorer Wilfried Zaha, so Palace are unchanged from their promising 1-1 draw against Brentford. Guaita starts in goal with a back four of Mitchell, Guehi, Anderson and Klein. Sambi Lokonga and Cheick Doucouré are in the holding midfield roles. Jeffrey Schlupp and Michael Elise are on the wings, with Jordan Ayew behind Jean-Philippe Mateta. As for Liverpool, Jurgen Klopp has said changes will be made, and this has proven to be the case. 4 changes are made to the side that lost 5-2 to Real Madrid. Alisson keeps his place in goal. 1 change to the back four. Joel Matip comes in for injured Gomez. Robertson, Van Dijk and Trent all keep their places. 2 changes in the midfield, with James Milner and Naby Keita coming in, and Henderson keeps his place. And it's a first start since returning from injury for Diogo Jota, with Cody Gakpo and Mo Salah in the attacking positions to keep their place. And we have got underway at Selhurst Park. Crystal Palace winless in 7. They've only gone worse. Their worst run was last in 2020 when they lost 8 games in a row. So they'll be hoping, with the spirited performances that they've had, that they can really get a brilliant result here against the Liverpool side, coming off the back of 2 wins from 2 in the league, but did have a bit of a setback in midweek. Trent Alexander-Arnold is on the ball for the throw. So weighing up his options. Plays it to the on-rushing Salah, but it is cleared away by Crystal Palace. Van Dijk to defensive partner Joel Matip. And it's a throw in to Crystal Palace, a bit of a miss. A heavy touch there from Trent. I think he was a little bit disappointed with the pass from Joel Matip. Matip, of course, coming into the side for Joe Gomez, who has picked up an injury, and it was made clear by pundits such as Jamie Carragher that Gomez had a bit of a nightmare against Real Madrid, as Van Dijk looks to find Mohamed Salah running past the Crystal Palace defence, but it is defended well. Sambi Lokonga now plays it to Nathaniel Klein, former Liverpool player. Michael Elise, we know what he can do. Robertson wins it back, though, and plays it to Cody Gakpo, who turns well. It's a surging run from Gakpo, and it's well defended, but Robertson picks it up for Liverpool. Trent Alexander-Arnold onto Salah. Salah back to Naby Keita. Mo Salah is in an improved run of form now, is the Egyptian. Liverpool fans hoping that he can continue this for the rest of the season, as he is going to be crucial for Liverpool's hopes of getting into the top 4, as Liverpool do concede a foul. And it's going to be Guehi who takes this free kick for Crystal Palace, looking to hoof it long to Mateta, the target man. And Naby Keita is shrugged off the ball by Jeffrey Schlupp, who plays it into the on-rushing Mateta, who almost got there. Van Dijk did enough, but it's a throw-in for Crystal Palace in a good area, just before the corner flag. And how much will Crystal Palace miss Wilfried Zaha in this game? He's their top goal scorer. Palace only have 6 goals in this starting 11 combined. So that will be a slight worry for Patrick Vieira, as Trent tries to play it on to Salah, running in behind, but it does go out for a throw-in to Crystal Palace. Liverpool looking to get that 3rd league win in a row, which would take them up to 7th and only 4 points behind the top 4 with another game in hand. So it's another important game for Liverpool to really impose themselves on that top four and get them into that top four by the end of the season, as Van Dijk plays it to Joel Matip, who has a bit of a charge forward, plays it back to Trent. Virgil van Dijk on the ball, plays it back to goalkeeper Alisson. Of course, had a bit of a meh in midweek, did Alisson, but so did his opposite number, Courtois, and you could argue that those two goalkeepers are the best in the world. And it just shows that they are only human and mistakes do happen, as Mo Salah plays it back to Trent, Trent back to Salah. Salah turns well, but is crowded out by Crystal Palace players. It played back to Trent Alexander-Arnold, who sprays it, tried to find his opposite fullback Robertson, but it goes out for a throw-in. A little bit bitty so far in the first 5 minutes. Not really either team being able to maintain long spells of possession, as Klein has a throw-in for the hosts. Selhurst Park always bouncing, always behind the players. And it's almost a nugget of a ground. You don't see these grounds very often, the condensed, tight, packed atmosphere that Crystal Palace do have. And tried to play it to Jeffrey Schlupp, but there is a foul in the build-up to that. Not too much happening at the moment. And despite Liverpool's loss in midweek and their shaky season, Patrick Vieira has said there is no good time to play Liverpool, but does believe that the positive performance against Brentford could lead them in good stead for this game. He was obviously disappointed, Patrick Vieira, to concede so late on against Brentford. And that is 4 draws in 5 for Crystal Palace in the Premier League. But based on their fixtures, you could say they're 4 good points. You know, they've had to draw against Manchester United, Newcastle United, as Jota tries to take it under his spell, but it is cut out and the touch gets away from him. Henderson to Robertson with a little bit of space now. Robertson looks to whip it in with that left foot. And it's going to be a throw-in for Liverpool. Robertson assessing his options, plays it to James Milner. The ever-present, doesn't stop running James Milner. Always puts 100% in just James Milner. And he's still going strong. The fitness levels of him are exceptional. And is a role model for anyone trying to maintain themselves in professional sport. Trent plays it to Naby Keita, coming back into the side after a while. Hasn't really been able to stamp in his authority in that Liverpool team since joining from RB Leipzig. But Gakpo gets fouled, but Liverpool do play on. Andy Robertson on the left-hand side plays it in, and it's cleared by Anderson. And Cody Gakpo is up, but is hobbling a little bit. He was caught a little bit late there by, it was Czech Decore who did go to kick the ball, but the ball went away from him and ended up kicking the leg of Cody Gakpo. But he does seem to be okay now. Trent plays it to Van Dijk now. Liverpool looking to mount a charge. Jota coming deep. Andy Robertson. Back to the skipper, Jordan Henderson. Matip. Plays it to Mo Salah. Trent is overlapping. Trent whips it in, and it's another throw-in. This is a better spell from Liverpool. They're getting a lot of the ball and more possession now, starting to impose themselves on the game and get a bit of control. Henderson sprays it brilliantly to Robertson, who touches it down excellently. Jota back to James Milner. Back on the left to Robertson, who's seeing a lot of the ball at the moment. Van Dijk. And that just backs up my point. 80% possession for Liverpool so far in this game as Robertson looks to play inside, and it's cut out by Sambi Lokonga, the Arsenal loanee. And he does win a foul for his side. That's good. Good play from him. Patrick Vieira has stressed the need for Crystal Palace to take their opportunities. The last time they scored more than one goal was in December. So, and especially against this Liverpool side, Crystal Palace will get chances and they will need to take them. As Cody Gakpo has a lot of space now in the middle of the park, and James Milner is on rushing. Mo Salah picks it up, shoots, just puts it wide. First chance for Liverpool, first shot of the game, and it's from Mo Salah. Always a difficult angle, but it was a good pass through the lines to Gakpo from Henderson, and Salah comes onto it on his left foot like he likes to do, and it was never going to test Gaeta. And Mo Salah, he's got 55 Premier League away goals in the Premier League, and that is a joint that's a joint record for the Egyptian. Breaking records all the time. Wouldn't be surprised if he got a goal today with the form he's in. Mateta holds it up well, but Henderson sweeps up. Sambi Lokonga, Decore tried to play it to Elise, but it's a lax pass, and Robertson picks it up. They need to look after the ball a little bit better, Crystal Palace. Alisson for Liverpool plays it to Joel Matip. Van Dijk. Liverpool, they haven't really had a settled defensive partnership for the majority of Klopp's time at Liverpool, if it's fair to say that. Van Dijk has always been the mainstay, but then it's been who's going to partner him, as he has had a lot of partnerships. The Dutchman, Trent, plays it to Gakpo, tried to flick it on. Of course, Gakpo, a man in form. 2 back-to-back goals for Liverpool, and no player has scored 3 in 3 consecutive games for Liverpool this season, which perhaps shows the lack of form that players like Salah have shown in this season. Liverpool fans will be hoping that this is a turnaround in their fortunes, though, based on the recent results in the league. And maybe it would be beneficial for Liverpool to get knocked out of the Champions League. Klopp won't say this, but it will give them a chance to energise. And, that was a big chance for Mateta. It was a poor pass from Trent Alexander-Arnold. It was a really poor pass. And Mateta came onto it, tried to chip the goalkeeper, and Alisson got an important touch on that. And that's a let-off for Liverpool. And Mateta, it's a poor finish in the end. I'm not sure if Alisson actually did get anything on it. But the chip did go very wide. But Crystal Palace have their first corner out of nothing. Liverpool need to switch on. It's played low into the box, but it is cleared. Mitchell to Elise. Elise plays it to Schlupp, but it just goes beyond him. Liverpool, they were in control, and that lapse of concentration by Trent Alexander-Arnold was poor, and it gifted Crystal Palace a chance. And Mateta maybe should have done a little bit better there and been a little bit more composed, as Jota plays the ball in the middle of the park to Jordan Henderson. Matip on to Naby Keita. Henderson plays it to Van Dijk, who plays it back to his defensive partner, Joel Matip. Matip inside to Salah. To Gakpo. That's good interchange from Liverpool. Cleared away. Gakpo wins his header. Salah, Trent just can't keep it in, and it's a throw into Crystal Palace. But that was a decent move from Liverpool. Gakpo just couldn't find anyone in the middle there. As Crystal Palace do get this throw in. And it's headed away to Gakpo, who's been quite involved in this game so far. Van Dijk eyes on the ball, wins his header, but it's come out to Ayew, who is crowded, and Liverpool do well to win the ball back. It's going to be a throw in now. James Milner picks it up, looking for a forward pass. Henderson plays it all the way back to Joel Matip. Alisson to Van Dijk. Henderson. Naby Keita in midfield now. Loses possession. Crystal Palace crowded out well by Liverpool, and that is the press that we have become accustomed to over the last 3 or 4 years. And it will be a throw into Crystal Palace to Liverpool's disgust. And it's Klein now on the right-hand side of Liverpool. Elise puts the ball into the box and it's headed away well by Joel Matip. Salah, good touch to Henderson. Now Liverpool can counter. Naby Keita can't find a pass but does wriggle out of the Crystal Palace press well. Robertson. Back to Naby Keita, looking for a pass. Keita to Gakpo. Very much playing in that centre-forward role for Liverpool. Salah, it's a poor pass from him, and Crystal Palace can now break. The game's livened up in terms of tempo in these last 10 minutes. Ayew look to whip it in, headed away by Henderson and cleared by Jota. Jota couldn't quite keep onto the ball, but there is a high boot in there from Nathaniel Klein, and it will be a free kick to Liverpool. We've already had a lot of games go on before this game. It started on Friday, Fulham getting a draw against Wolves to push them forward in that potential European place. They were 1-0 down, so they'd probably consider that as a good point in the end. Leeds got a massive win today against Southampton to take themselves out of the relegation zone. Arsenal with another huge win against Leicester City, another 1-0 narrow win to take them, well, for them to remain top of the league. Everton lost to Aston Villa 2-0 at Goodison Park, a first Goodison Park defeat for Sean Dyche, and West Ham got a vital win, an important 4-0 win against Nottingham Forest, as Robertson crosses the ball in, and it comes out to Jota, and it's straight into Guaita's hands, but that was a half chance for Liverpool. Robertson came down that left-hand side, and it was cleared only as far as Diogo Jota from the cross, but it was comfortable pickings for Guaita. And just finishing off, West Ham with a huge 4-0 win to lift themselves out of the relegation zone over Nottingham Forest. And a game that's just finished, Manchester City winning 4-1 at Bournemouth. Bournemouth with a late consolation goal, but the damage was already done courtesy of Phil Foden, Erling Haaland and Julian Alvarez. So Manchester City getting back to winning ways after their week of draws, which means the gap to Arsenal is 2 points again. Arsenal still have that game in hand though, but it's definitely a fascinating title race at the moment, with Manchester United playing in the Carabao Cup final tomorrow with an outside chance of winning the Premier League. But Manchester United obviously focusing on that Carabao Cup final against Newcastle. Now, Virgil van Dijk plays it to Andy Robertson, looking for a pass. Robertson plays it to Henderson, who then looked for Gakpo, who was making the run, but it is cut out. Mateta holds the ball up really well. And there's space here for Michael Elise, and the pass needed to be timed better because Michael Elise would have been in. And it's actually intercepted and come back to Michael Elise, but he is offside as expected. But Crystal Palace, they're getting a few openings, a few gaps in that Liverpool defence. Robertson out of position there, but the pass wasn't good enough to cause Liverpool any problems. Now, Liverpool with the ball now in their half. Van Dijk plays it back to Alisson. Good pass to Robertson. Robertson plays it into Gakpo. Jota into Keita. Good play from Liverpool, but it's well defended by Crystal Palace, who just marshal Naby Keita out. But Mateta, it's good hold-up play from him again. He's done all that's been asked of him so far in this game. He's providing Crystal Palace with a real outlet when they do win the ball back, which is important. Elise now loses possession and Gakpo has some space to run into. Gakpo still comes away with the ball and wins a free kick from about 30 yards out. Gakpo's been putting himself about and is definitely impressed in this game. And we just have approached the 20-minute mark in this game. And Liverpool will have a free kick. Obviously, a big absentee for Liverpool is Núñez, having that injury. And interestingly, Salah and Núñez have created a chance for each other on average every 55 minutes in the Premier League, which is the best of any pair that's played at least 500 minutes. So that partnership may be missed in this game, but Liverpool do have a free kick now, and the two fullbacks, Trent and Robertson, are standing over the ball. It's going to be whipped in by Robertson. It's a good ball. It comes out to Matip, who plays it over to Jota, and his header, it was a tight angle, but he hit the post. Another sight of goal for Jota. And he became accustomed to scoring goals before he had the injury problems to Diogo Jota. And it was always a very difficult chance to convert because the ball, it was almost on the goal line that Jota was heading it. So it was always going to be very difficult to get it in. And maybe expectantly, he did hit the post as he was right next to it. Now, Mateta holds it up well again. Mateta. Elise. Makonga. It's good play from Crystal Palace. Elise gets past Naby Keita and is fouled by Naby Keita. And that is the first yellow card of the game for the Liverpool midfielder. Can't have any complaints there, can Naby Keita. There was a promising attack and he just hustled and harried at Michael Elise, who showed a good turn to initially get past the 28-year-old. Now Elise with another chance to use his wand of a left foot to whip it in. And they have got some height in there. It is whipped in by Elise. It beats the first man! And it just goes wide. It's ever so close. Ever so close. Oh, it's so close there. It's a brilliant ball in. A brilliant ball in, and it's Mark Guehi who just heads it wide. Big chance for Crystal Palace, as that will give them hope as they press Liverpool. But Liverpool do come out with the ball, but it's a poor pass from Joel Matip. A little bit sloppy. Klopp clearly not pleased with Liverpool's start to the game. But Liverpool know that there is a long way to go in this game, as it's a throw-in now by Trent Alexander-Arnold. And it's headed by Joachim Andersen, who was up from the set piece, and he runs back to defence. Second most clearances of any player in the Premier League season for Joachim Andersen. He's been very pivotal to Crystal Palace's team, as a throw is taken aiming for Salah, but doesn't go far enough. Mateta again holds the ball up so well, but isn't successful at that time. Milner to Van Dijk. Henderson to Alisson. Van Dijk now. All the way back, all the way to Joel Matip on the opposite side. Matip to Salah. Trent looks for a pass. It's a great one to Jota, who chests it down well. Jota wins a free kick in a very dangerous area. And this is a big chance for a player like Trent Alexander-Arnold. And it's a yellow card given to the offender, Nathaniel Klein. And it did look a clear foul. And Jota is down. It was taken brilliantly from the Portuguese, and it was a very poor challenge and deserved of a yellow card from Nathaniel Klein. Although he got a bit of the ball, like he did get the man as well. And we're just hoping Jota's going to be okay, because he has had his injury problems. And it was a nasty challenge from Nathaniel Klein, but this is Trent territory for this free kick, just outside the box. And as expected, Trent is over this, as is Mohamed Salah, though, who does have the ball in his hands. So it might not be Trent to take it, we'll have to see. As Guaita is just lining up his wall. And there's a little bit of discussion the referee is having with that tall Crystal Palace wall, which will be difficult to beat, whether it is Salah or Trent. But we know, especially Trent, does have it in his locker. But Salah is looking at the ball like he is wanting to take it. I'm not sure if that is a tactic or a decoy, but we will have to see. Crystal Palace did have a player on the floor just in case the ball went under the wall, but they have actually decided not to. They've decided against that. And there is still a little bit of a discussion going on with the players, having a bit of an argument, but it is Mo Salah that lays it off to Trent Alexander-Arnold, and it hits Jordan Henderson in the head, and Trent's fuming with that. And was that looking goal bound? Oh, it was. Oh, it was looking goal bound. I'm not sure if Guaita would have got anything on that. I don't think he would have got a hand on that, Guaita, but it's headed by Jordan Henderson. And Trent was clearly not happy with that, because that did look goal bound, but nonetheless, it remains 0-0 as the message on the screen at Selhurst Park spreading awareness, as it is 1 year since the war in Ukraine started, which is absolutely our thoughts, and we still unite with Ukraine on that consensus. And another sad piece of news that broke to in this last week. Legendary commentator John Motson passed away at 77, and obviously our thoughts and prayers at the Commentary Hub do go to him and his family. A legend of the commentary game. Van Dijk plays it to Robertson. James Milner back to Robertson. Robertson runs into the space. Still running Robertson. Gets to the byline, crosses it in, but Guaita handles it well. Crystal Palace will be fairly happy with how the game's gone so far. They've limited Liverpool to few chances, and they've had a bit of joy themselves, Crystal Palace, when they have got forward. So I think Patrick Vieira will be fairly pleased as Michael Elise gets the ball off Mateta, but they do lose the ball in the end. Elise's pass was cut out by Alisson. And Nathaniel Klein looks to get rid of the ball with a pressing Jota on his back. And it's going to be a throw-in for Liverpool. So 0-0 here. Robertson with the ball. Jordan Henderson. Matip. Robertson to Gakpo, who's come to this left-hand side. Robertson back to Diogo Jota, who plays it back to Gakpo. Good play this from Liverpool. Shot blocked. Milner plays it back out to Trent. Trent fizzes it in and it's cleared. Back to Trent Alexander-Arnold, though. Mitchell clears and it's a throw-in for Liverpool. James Milner now. Plays it back to Joel Matip. Van Dijk. Back to Alisson. Van Dijk back on the ball for Liverpool, looking for options. We do have one more game to come in this week of fixtures in the Premier League. Tottenham face Chelsea at home tomorrow at 1:30, which should be a fascinating game. Chelsea still looking for an elusive win, which they failed to get. And Tottenham looking to, well, stamp their authority in that top four as Trent Alexander-Arnold comes forward, but it is cleared. Trent did try to play that over the top to Salah, but nothing came of it. Now Crystal Palace can break. Schlupp gets past Milner, and Milner wins a goal kick for Liverpool. It was initially blocked by Milner, but then came back off Jeffrey Schlupp, and it's good work from the veteran. And just going back to Tottenham, they are looking to extend that gap to the others in that top four race, as Spurs, no matter what happens, will be in fourth. But they will be looking to continue winning. They've won 3 of the last 4 in the league. So they will be looking to extend their lead in fourth. Patrick Vieira, I wonder what he's thinking. He probably is fairly pleased. Maybe a bit better passing and final third passing maybe is required, as he has spoken about before. Naby Keita can pick up the ball, but he doesn't reach it. Matip plays it back to Alisson, who clears. Brilliant touch from Salah from the Alisson clearance, who holds it up really well, plays it to Henderson. Matip. Back to the goalkeeper, Alisson. Van Dijk. Alisson. finds Andy Robertson well. Robertson on this left-hand side plays it back to James Milner. 10 minutes left of this second half. Can either team get that first goal of the game? Liverpool, when going ahead this season, have always won in the league, which is a good sign, but hopefully that's not going to be a commentator's curse. As for Crystal Palace, they've had a very tough run of fixtures, it's safe to say, and they do have a couple of other tricky fixtures, including a game against Manchester City, a trip to Arsenal, and a couple of tough away trips as well. So from their perspective, it's just important that they keep grinding out points here and there just to keep racking up the points and having that cushion between themselves and the relegation zone. Before this game, they were 5 points clear, so they do need to be a little bit careful. You know, they have been in that mid-table position for quite a while and are starting to get caught up by the pack beneath them. But you should expect this squad to be fine under Patrick Vieira. They've been a very solid outfit for the last 1.5 seasons under Patrick Vieira. Jordan Ayew loses it to Henderson. Gakpo turns and shields well, but not well enough because it is one back. Doucouré now. Robertson looked to intercept, but it is still with Crystal Palace, who it's a good ball out to Michael Olise now, who looks to whip an early cross. And it's a great ball in! And no Crystal Palace players could get on the end of it. It was Jeffrey Schlupp who was running in on that back post, but just couldn't reach it. But it's a delicious ball in from Michael Olise. I'm not really sure what more he could really do. It just needs a little bit more commitment and anticipation from Jeffrey Schlupp. And it was actually, I think there was Mitchell coming in as well. Patrick Vieira a little bit disappointed by that chance, as he knows it's a big chance. It was a big opportunity. And Michael Olise, the creator himself, only Bukayo Saka actually has more assists than him as an under 21-year-old in the last 2 seasons. Saka has 15, Michael Olise has 10. So he's definitely put his imprint on this Crystal Palace team and has ended up being a mainstay in the squad. Although it has been his attitude and work rate has been questioned at times from the manager, saying that he needs to just work that little bit harder and have that little bit more belief, perhaps. But he is working hard in this game, and it's Jeffrey Schlupp now who plays it behind Mitchell, who will just keep it in now, facing up Trent Alexander-Arnold. And it's won back by Liverpool, who can look to break. Naby Keita finds a pass to Jota, who touches it down well, and it's not a good enough pass that is cut out. Sambi Lokonga now on to check Doucouré. Ayew in this midfield now, who plays it to Mateta, who holds it up really well again. And back to Anderson. Crystal Palace looking to have a little bit of the ball now in this game. Olise back to Guehi. Guehi to his defensive partner, Joachim Andersen. It's Doucouré now who plays it out wide to Nathaniel Klein. On to Sambi Lokonga, of course, on loan from Arsenal. Wasn't getting too many minutes, if any, for the Gunners, so this was probably his best move, as Crystal Palace are known for improving and getting the best out of young players, especially midfielders as well. You know, Conor Gallagher not long ago was at the club and did exceptionally well and is now in that Chelsea squad. Sambi Lokonga will be hoping to do the same for Arsenal. But anyway, Ayew now picks it up and plays it to Doucouré, who's in a little bit of space now. Doucouré, weighing up his options, plays a good pass into Ayew. Ayew turns well. Good dribbling from him. Doucouré to Klein. This is good from Crystal Palace. Nathaniel Klein looks to whip the ball in, and it comes out to Michael Elise, and it's a nasty deflection from Naby Keita, and that could have gone anywhere. A wicked deflection. It was crossed in by Klein, and it was just a hoped volley from Elise, and Keita stuck a leg out, and it did just go wide for a corner kick. But that was a dangerous deflection, and it is going to be a throw-in for a corner, for Crystal Palace. Whipped in again by Michael Elise. Another good ball in, but cleared well. Lokonga heads it back in. Liverpool come out with it, though, and it's cleared to Mohamed Salah, who beats Nathaniel Klein brilliantly. Salah now. Jota is making a run into the box. Mo Salah facing up Klein. Salah! Not good enough with the finish. Easily collected by Guaita. Comfortably caught that. But it was good work initially from Salah. But just couldn't quite get enough on that shot on his left foot. It is a trademark Salah shot, but Guaita was very much equal to it. Elise does get fouled by James Milner. Will be a free kick now to Crystal Palace. 5 minutes to go in this second half. As Trent has a bit of defending to do and loses out. It's poor. It's Mateta! Hits the crossbar. Big chance for Crystal Palace. Goes begging. It's Trent with another poor bit of concentration. And loses out to Michael Elise, who won it. And it was Jeffrey Schlupp, who won it back and played it inside to Mateta. And he's got to score there. He's got to score. He just needed to get over it. And it hit the crossbar. And he knows that was a big chance. He knows that was a big chance, Mateta. As now Liverpool look to come forward. James Milner back to Robertson. Henderson. Matip. Trent. Mo Salah. Van Dijk now wins a foul, trying to run past Elise. Trent looked to play over to Salah, but it is well blocked. And now Mateta holds the ball up well again, plays it to Decore. Decore, a bit of miscommunication. Well, it was a little bit of a poor pass from him that ends up with the throw into Liverpool. Milner on to Joel Matip. Henderson now. Back to Matip. Liverpool do have players that have come back from injury, including Firmino and Jota and Matip. So only really Diaz to come back now. So Liverpool will be hoping that these players can stay fit. And when they do, especially the front line, there will be a lot of competition. A lot of Liverpool attackers that have star quality. And it's a throw in to Crystal Palace. Referee just holding up play. Not entirely sure why, but play will be resumed now, and it's a throw-in taken from by Mitchell, flicked on by Mateta, then by Elise, but then to no one. Van Dijk to Robertson, back to Alisson, plays it back to the left back. Matip now. Looking for a pass, but it was cut out, and Matip with a loose touch, and Alisson has to bail him out. quite a few examples of lack of concentration from Liverpool players. They do need to be really careful here because they should be 1-0 down. You know, the Mateta chance, or both of Mateta's chances could have been converted. Klopp definitely a little bit concerned by the amount of times that Liverpool have given the ball away in dangerous areas as well. As I said, Liverpool will give Crystal Palace chances. Crystal Palace will get chances. It's just about whether they can convert them. Van Dijk. Alisson will clear it, and there will be 1 minute to add on to this first half that's had a couple of half chances and a couple of mistakes by Liverpool and causing a real big chance for Mateta. Robertson now to Henderson in the middle. Henderson plays it back to Alisson. Crystal Palace doing well to limit Liverpool's options. Alisson goes long, trying to find Salah, who flicks it on. Jota is running on and it's cleared by Guehi. Henderson headers it back. Salah touches it down, trying to find Gakpo. But it is cleared. Trent wins the header, but Samuel Okonga does win the ball back as we are getting closer to approaching the half-time whistle, as Guaita will have a free kick for Crystal Palace. I'm not sure exactly what for. It might have been an offside actually from Mohamed Salah. As Guaita potentially looking for Mateta again. But that will be the half-time whistle. No goals to report. However, there have been some huge chances for that man, Jean-Philippe Mateta, caused by Liverpool errors for all of them. 2 poor pieces of play from Trent, giving Mateta 2 huge chances. One especially where it was played into him 5 yards out and he rattled the crossbar. Probably should have done better, but didn't. As for Liverpool, they've had a couple of half chances, but nothing more than that. Nothing really testing Guaita in goal. But at half time, it remains 0-0 at Selhurst Park. Welcome back to the second half as we just get underway. Harvey Elliott has come on in place of Naby Keita, who did have that yellow card, and Klopp will be hoping for a little bit more energy in that midfield and for an improved performance, because Crystal Palace will be thinking that they should be 1-0 up in this game. So Alisson will play a really good pass to Andy Robertson onto Jota. No changes for Crystal Palace. It's as they were. Van Dijk switches it to Trent, who plays it back to Harvey Elliott, newly introduced, who has actually played every minute. He's played in every game this season in the Premier League for Liverpool, the most minutes by any teenager. And that was a dangerous ball in, actually, to Jota, who just couldn't get a foot on it, and it did just comfortably go into Guaita's hands in the end. Harvey Elliott already getting on the ball for Liverpool. Van Dijk will take the throw-in and throws it all the way back to Alisson. Van Dijk geeing up the team, looking for options. It's just been a bit of that story. Liverpool, they've not really had too many options in terms of being able to pass the ball to it. It's been very much sideways and backwards for Liverpool, as Alisson does look to play it to Robertson, but it is cut out, and Crystal Palace get on the ball, and it's like Guaita who clears it to Mateta with those two big chances in that first half. But Elise comes out with the ball now. Whipped in by Ayew. Schlupp attacks it, but couldn't really generate any connection of substance. Partly because Trent marked him fairly well there. And Alisson could just pick it up comfortably. Henderson now. Trent plays a lovely pass to Robertson. That is what he can do. Robertson looks to cross, but it's blocked. Robertson back, and it's Jordan Henderson now. Matip. Trent whips it into Jota, and it's Salah hits the bar. Big chance for Liverpool. Big chance that he's denied by the crossbar. Mo Salah. Great effort from the Egyptian. It was good work down the right-hand side from Trent. He whipped it in initially to Jota, and it was blocked and came out to Salah, who could only hit the crossbar beyond the diving Guaita, who would not have got anything on it, who was nowhere near that. But that is definitely Liverpool's best chance of the game. And it's going to be Robertson to take the throw-in now. Robertson, when his options, plays it to James Milner, who then plays it to Alisson. Milner to Joel Matip and to Trent. Trent to Harvey Elliott now. And the referee has blown his whistle. I think it might be a foul to Liverpool, I believe. Oh, there was a little bit of confrontation there between Henderson and Elise. And that is what the referee was having a word with them about. But Liverpool do get back on the ball. Matip now on this right-hand side for Liverpool, kicking from left to right. Mo Salah tried to return it to Trent but couldn't, but wins a throw-in, which Trent will take. Trent in the middle to Jota. And it's been found Elise now. Elise has been found and plays it to Mateta, who uses his strength really well against Van Dijk, but Van Dijk bites back and wins the ball back. Robertson now. Onto Henderson, Milner, through the legs to Harvey Elliott. Harvey Elliott now. Trent running past. It's Salah. Mo Salah plays it to Trent on the overlap, who whips it in, and it forces Guaita to actually punch it over. It was a powerful cross from Trent that was almost too close to Guaita. Excuse me. And it is a corner. A little bit better from Liverpool. Definitely creating a lot more. I think Klopp definitely had some stern words to say at half time. Salah. And it's not a good enough corner from Robertson, sorry. Trent now plays it to Matip, or Alisson rather. Alisson plays it to Salah, who can't quite keep it in. Well, this has definitely been a better start from Liverpool in this second half, as Crystal Palace look to settle themselves. Matip. Crystal Palace have conceded the fourth most second half goals this season, which isn't a good look for Patrick Vieira. As Milner clears this ball now, looking for Salah, who wins his header, but Mitchell is there. Where he heads away. Lokonga. Lokonga to Decore. Nathaniel Klein now tries to play a long pass to Ayew, but easily claimed by Alisson. He throws it out to Andy Robertson. Henderson looks to pass it into the onrushing Salah. It was an ambitious ball, but Harvey Elliott picks the ball up now for Liverpool. He's looked lively since coming on. Tried to find Cody Gakpo, who was running into the box but couldn't. And it's a bit of head tennis at the moment. Not cleared enough by the foot of Jeffrey Schlupp. Mo Salah now. Harvey Elliott fouled just off the ball there by Mitchell. Harvey Elliott getting to his feet now. And it will be a free kick in an area where Trent and Robertson can provide quality. It will be whipped in by Andy Robertson. And it comes out to Henderson. There were slight appeals for handball, but nothing given. Mateta now, looking for runners. And it's played over the top to Ayew from Mateta, and Alisson does very coolly there to just almost keep the up it or flick the ball into the box to catch it. Now that is composure, and Alisson is one composed goalkeeper, that's for sure. And he's almost too composed sometimes. Van Dijk now plays it to Joel Matip. Onto Trent. Trent looking for the run of Salah, and it is a corner for Liverpool, conceded by Mark Guehi. Crystal Palace haven't had as many opportunities to get forward and create any chances so far in the second half, although Liverpool were the team giving Crystal Palace these chances. But Crystal Palace need to mark up here. But as I've said, they do have a tall team to Crystal Palace, and will not want to concede from a corner. Trent now. It's a dangerous ball in, and it's headed away, but then Joel Matip swipes and hits the side netting. It was a dangerous ball in by Trent, and it was Matip who tried to actually get the initial header, but couldn't get enough on it. And it ricocheted back to him, and he has won another corner, which will be taken again by Trent Alexander-Arnold. It was a dangerous ball in, though, from Trent, and we know he can do that. He crosses it in again. It's another dangerous one, but it's headed away well by Anderson. Jota now takes it under his spell. Jota shoots over the bar. Jota's still finding that match sharpness. He has been out for quite a while. And Jota was actually seemingly pushed off the ball before he got up, and then took the ball, controlled it and shot. Still 0-0 though as we approach the hour mark. Not quite the goal fiasco in midweek for Liverpool, which they'll probably be pleased about, to be honest. And it will be cleared by Allison. And it's Mitchell now who picks up the ball. And it's a good throw, actually, from Mitchell to Mateta. Schlupp, Mitchell, Elise. Mark Guehi now. Mitchell. Mitchell looking for options now as Crystal Palace have another throw. Good 1-2. Mitchell plays it back to Sambi Lokonga, or tries to, and wins another throw-in. And Matip clears in the end for Liverpool. Salah now loses out to Mark Guehi, who does well but then loses it, and Salah now has some space to think about what he's going to do. He does lose it with a poor pass, and Crystal Palace regain possession, but not for long, because Guaita, with a poor clearance, loses out to Milner, and Crystal Palace do win the ball back though. Schlupp plays it to Ayew, back to Elise. Elise to Anderson, back to Elise. Anderson hooks it long, looking for Ayew. And Anderson clears again. Henderson to Trent. Crystal Palace have steadied the ship from the Liverpool onslaught. Well, maybe not quite an onslaught, but the good start that Liverpool have. Crystal Palace have started to get back into the game a little bit as Matip plays it back to Van Dijk, who then plays it to Jordan Henderson, who plays it in the middle to Milner, who then finds Trent brilliantly. This is good play from Liverpool. Trent to Harvey Elliott, but Crystal Palace defend well, and they managed to avoid conceding a corner as Guaita keeps the ball. Elise now picks it up for Crystal Palace. Elise to Ayew. Ayew looks for a cross and it's not good enough. It was a good position for Crystal Palace, but Ayew could not add the quality needed in this game. I think it's safe to say the game's lacked a little bit of quality from both teams, hence the stalemate so far. Trent plays it in the middle of the park to James Milner. And it's out to Cody Gakpo, who's been a little bit quiet since his lively start to the game. And it's out to Trent now. Can't beat Mitchell. Trying to win the ball back, but Sambi Lokonga comes away with it. Plays it to Decore. Space now for Crystal Palace. Onto Schlupp. Schlupp. Blocked by Henderson. And Trent comes out with the ball. Henderson to Harvey Elliott. James Milner plays it out wide to Andy Robertson. To Diogo Jota, who's had a couple of half chances in this game. Definitely is getting back up to the speed. And he'll be hoping just to get that goal to get him off and running again. Hopefully on a good run. Matip to Harvey Elliott. Henderson, Gakpo. Henderson plays it all the way back to Alisson. Van Dijk with a testing ball to Salah, but Salah couldn't quite control that very well and thought he was fouled actually. But referee says no, the referee is Darren England today. It's one back, Henderson to Milner. Milner to Jota. Jota looking for, I think it was Henderson, but they weren't quite on the same wavelength. Robertson running back now with Ayew. Ayew plays it back to Elise, who then plays it back to Anderson. Into Guehi. Sambi Lokonga turns well. And it's played up. And it's Ayew now. This is a chance for Crystal Palace. Ayew loses his footing a bit, plays it back to Michael Elise, who does really well to breeze past Jota. Looks for a cross. It's a testing cross. But Mateta couldn't really get enough on the header to direct it goalwards. And Harvey Elliott with a loose pass, though. And it's Schlupp now on the edge of the box. Lokonga looking for options. Klein plays it out wide to Elise. Elise wins a corner for Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace having a good spell in this game. As Elise will whip this corner in. And it will be taken and easily claimed by Alisson in the end. Opportunity wasted there, and Alisson throws it out to Gakpo now, who can run into some space. Milner looks for an early cross. It's a decent one, but headed away. Gakpo comes out with it. Gakpo shoots, blocked. Van Dijk now. The game's starting to open up a little bit. Both teams are looking for that goal. Van Dijk. Matip. Matip plays it to tried to play it to Trent, but it was cut out, and it's a throw in to Liverpool. Milner plays it to Matip. Good pass inside from Milner to Gakpo. It's played to Jota, but it's good defending in the end. But Gakpo wins it back for Liverpool. Gakpo looked to play inside to Milner, and it was cut out. And now Palace can break forward with Elise. Not too many forward, though, for Crystal Palace. Elise looks to take on Jordan Henderson. And does so really well, and wins a foul just on the edge of the area. And it's a deserved yellow card for the Liverpool skipper. Couldn't deal with Elise there and had to take him out just before he got into the box there. But it's really good work again from Michael Elise. And Crystal Palace have a chance to put some pressure on this Liverpool defence now with the free kick. Elise will whip this in now. And it will be whipped in shortly. The referee down in England is just having a few words with Gakpo and Anderson. Just making sure everything's in order. And now Elise will look to cross as he does so, but doesn't beat the wall. It's a strong wall there. And Crystal Palace will go back to their goalkeeper, who clears to Trent. Trent to Harvey Elliott now. Henderson. Van Dijk. Jota. To Milner. Milner to Henderson. Henderson plays it out wide to Trent, who then plays it back to Henderson. Liverpool struggling to get an opening in this game due to the marshalled defence of Crystal Palace and the well-coached defence as well. Now Harvey Elliott gets on the ball now. Looks to play it into Gakpo, but it's not a good enough pass, and Palace come out with the ball. And it's intercepted by Jordan Henderson, the attempted pass from Decore. Henderson plays it out wide to the onrushing Robertson, but loses out. And Michael Elise now can look to play a pass forward, and it's a really good pass to Jeffrey Schlupp now, facing up Matip. And Trent does well there to get back defensively and win a goal kick for his side. As we approach the 70-minute mark, and there will be the first couple of changes from Crystal Palace and a couple from Liverpool themselves. It's going to be Edouard and Eberechi Eze for Crystal Palace, and they will be replacing number. We're just waiting for confirmation. It will be Mateta, who's had a really good game, other than being able to score. You know, he's held the ball up really well, but the chances that's fallen to him, he's just not been able to convert. And it will also be Jeffrey Schlupp, who come off as well. Good substitutions coming on, though, for Crystal Palace. Eberechi Eze, a player for Palace who does have 3 goals this season. So it will be Fabinho and Firmino to come on in place of Trent Alexander-Arnold and Diogo Jota come off. Decore. Edouard with his first involvement. Van Dijk wins it. Harvey Elliott now, or Firmino rather, turns, plays it to Harvey Elliott. And it will be a throw in to Liverpool. Throw in will be taken by Robertson. Plays it to Firmino. Salah. Matip. Onto Milner. But nothing comes of that, and it will be collected by Guaita. And Guaita will play it to Mitchell, who then plays it to Eze, who is tussling with Matip, who's had a strong game for Liverpool, but in that case was too strong for Michael Olise. Eberechi Eze rather. And Eberechi Eze wins a free kick for his side. Sambi Lokonga now with the ball for Crystal Palace. Klein. Can either of these sides grab that important goal? Salah now touches it down to play it to James Milner, who's moved to right back. Henderson to Firmino. Fabinho back to Van Dijk. Van Dijk plays it to Joel Matip, who then plays it to Milner. Harvey Elliott. Crystal Palace will stay in 12th no matter what happens today, and will go 6 points clear of the relegation zone if they do get a point, as Harvey Elliott comes forward with the ball, plays a good ball to Robertson, who heads it back. Firmino was running in, but Guaita claimed it well in the end. But it's been good from Harvey Elliott. He's shown some good progress in this game since coming on. Liverpool will go into 7th with a draw, but they will be very much wanting to get that win to put the pressure on Spurs, who play tomorrow in the London derby against Chelsea. But it's good play actually between the Crystal Palace substitutes. It's Mitchell now, and it's well defended by James Milner. Still going. And it will be a corner to Crystal Palace now. Cross comes in, punched away by Alisson. Alisson probably could have caught that, but he does win a foul in the end though, so that potentially was the reason why he couldn't catch it. Matip to Van Dijk. Van Dijk to Robertson. Firmino loses out. Palace will really feel like they've got a chance in this game, and that's really good running from Jordan Ayew, who wins a free kick. And it's a yellow card for Fabinho, who's just come onto the pitch. Liverpool do have another game in midweek in the Premier League, taking on Wolves at home, which will be another big game and an even bigger game if they fail to get 3 points today. Eze now. It's come to Klein. Klein plays it back to Elisa, who whips it in, and it's cleared by Firmino. Comes out to Doucouré, who goes for one. And it soars into the stands. As Crystal Palace and Liverpool pay tribute to the iconic commentator John Motson as we have approached the 77th minute to represent his age. He is such an iconic voice. He was such an iconic voice in football. Some argue the voice of football. But Fabinho concedes a foul again, just after conceding that yellow card. He is a player that has struggled a lot this season. Klein plays it to Ayew, who's put in a shift as he always does in this game and has shown some good moments. Guaita to Clay. Matip wins his header. Fabinho taking a risk there with that high boot. And Cody Gakpo now. It's a 1-2 between Gakpo and Firmino, and it almost came out to Harvey Elliott. And the whistle has been blown. I thought it would have been by the referee because of a head injury. And it's Sambi Lokonga who's down. Just looking at that high boot from Fabinho. Thankfully, it didn't connect with Doucouré at all there. But Lokonga did go down from Fabinho's jump to try and keep the ball. So it will be into Crystal Palace's hands now, as it's hoofed long. Nothing comes of it though. As Robertson will head it back to Alisson and Becker. Just hit the 80-minute mark now in this game as Salah is played in, is offside. Elise now. Poor pass. Liverpool have numbers now. Mo Salah on the ball. Mo Salah plays it to Cody Gakpo. Oh, it's gone wide. And it's going to be a goal kick, and Cody Gakpo is in such great form. Could have got his third goal in 3 games. The ball could have been a little bit better from Salah. It did give Guaita enough of a chance to put Cody Gakpo off. but the keeper didn't actually get anything on it, and it was just a chip in the end that just went comfortably wide. But that was an opportunity and a better pass from Salah, and that could have been 1-0 to Liverpool. And Matip now has conceded a foul and has been given a yellow card for his troubles. Just a push on Edouard there. There will be a free kick now for Crystal Palace to potentially do something from. It's Eze weighing up his options. And the referee's just having a word with Jordan Henderson. Are you just having a bit of a scuffle whilst trying to mark each other, I think. And it's going to be whipped in, cleared away by Fabinho and then by Gakpo. Crystal Palace retain the ball though. Mitchell plays it in and it's headed by Matip. And as far as Eze, who picks up the ball, plays it to Anderson. Anderson plays a good pass to Mitchell, who wins a throw-in. And there will be another change made for Liverpool. The young Bajcetic will be coming on shortly. Throw-in has been taken. Eze now to Sambi Lokonga, who plays it back to Mark Guehi, but it's a poor pass and Firmino almost capitalised, but Guehi did get the ball back. Guehi now plays it to Eze. Eze looks to take on his men, but it is cut out by Milner. Fabinho clears. Looking for Salah, but intercepted well by Mark Guehi. And it will be Cody Gakpo to make way for Bajcetic, having that big chance late on in the game. Probably being rested as they do have a game, as I've mentioned, in the week against Wolves, and Gakpo has definitely made an impression on Jurgen Klopp, as he has been played quite frequently since signing for Liverpool. He's played almost every game, and almost every minute. What can Liverpool do, or Crystal Palace, in these last 5 minutes of normal time? Matip to Milner. Mitchell does well, but Milner bites back and wins a throw-in for Liverpool. Firmino to Bajcetic. Fabinho to Henderson, who gets past Mitchell really well, but Palace win the ball back, and Palace have had really good numbers back, and they've always been able to not allow much space for any Liverpool player. Even if they've got past one Crystal Palace man, there's always one there ready to win the ball back after. And it's been a really impressive defensive performance actually from Crystal Palace. And they'll be thinking they can get something from this game. Fabinho. Henderson. It's a poor touch from Milner, but he does manage to keep it in. Milner back to Alisson. Alisson back to Milner. And Milner's let the ball go out because of a potential injury, or it might be cramp for Czech Decore. Referee down in England just going over just to see if he's okay, and it does look like cramp. And he should be able to soldier on Czech Decore. Van Dijk to Bajcetic now. Robertson. Hoofs it upfield, but it is won back by Crystal Palace. Edouard did collect the ball, but was in an offside position, so it's possession back to Liverpool. Van Dijk tried to find Salah. Salah's been players have tried to find Salah, but it's not really been able to come off at all in this game. As Ayew plays it to Michael Elise, it's back to Ayew. Now Anderson hoofs it, and it's hoofed back by Andy Robertson. A bit scrappy this game. No team can really seem to keep their foot on the ball at the moment, and it is a foul conceded by Ayew against Jordan Henderson. Henderson to Milner. Matip. Alisson. Who hasn't really had much to do. Crystal Palace haven't had, to my knowledge, a shot on target in this game. They've had big chances, but none able to even test Alisson. Eze now. Mitchell. Is there a goal in this half? Will we get a goal in this game? As it comes out to Ayew, who crosses it in, but it's cleared by Fabinho and then by Bajcetic. But Ayew keeps the ball for Crystal Palace. It's played to Klein. Anderson. And this game does look like it's petering out into a 0-0 draw as it stands, which will definitely be a better point for Crystal Palace as Liverpool fight for that top 4 position. Van Dijk does get away with that just about. He was in a battle with Edouard, and Edouard almost won that, but the referee came to Van Dijk's rescue. Milner looks for Salah. Palace win it back. Mitchell clears. And it's Matip who plays it to Fabinho. And Fabinho is fouled. Well, Crystal Palace have had a couple of goals after 90 minutes this season. They've had a couple, most memorably that Michael Elise wonder free kick against Manchester United. Can they do it again in this game to delight the Palace faithful? But Milner will whip this in now from the free kick for Liverpool. It's Van Dijk to try and win the header, but it's well defended by Crystal Palace, and there's a little bit of space now by Cesic, having a race with Elise, and by Cetic does well. Bit of a mouthful that. Crystal Palace fans sing on, as they will be definitely pleased with this Crystal Palace display. What you always get with Palace is absolute effort and commitment to the cause, which is and the organisation as well. It is credit to how Patrick Vieira and his coaching staff are able to motivate these players and give them that defensive discipline. And it's a good turn from Ayew. There is 3 minutes of additional time that will be played. And that was a lovely bit of skill there from Ayew to get past Robertson, but he commits the foul, and it's a free kick to Crystal Palace and a yellow card to Andy Robertson. Can Crystal Palace stun Liverpool? We are in the 92nd minute of 93. Eze will whip this free kick in. And it's a testing delivery, and it can't really get much connection with the header. It's Anderson then who whips a good ball in, and it's headed away by a Liverpool head for a Crystal Palace corner. Robertson geeing up the players. It was Joel Matip who headed it away. He's had a solid game in there for Liverpool. And this might be the last chance of the game. So Liverpool need to make sure that they don't come away with nothing. And it's a poor delivery. And that's actually going to be it. There's not going to be time for the next corner to be taken. It's finished as a stalemate at Selhurst Park. The players are complaining to Darren England, the referee, that they should have been able to take their second corner of the game, and Anderson actually gets a yellow card for the protests. But nothing can be done now. It was a game of few chances, a couple of big chances in there, mainly for Crystal Palace, in that first half, with Jean-Philippe Mateta crashing the crossbar and also having his chipped effort saved by Alisson. Mo Salah had a big chance for Liverpool at the other end, hitting the crossbar, and also played in Cody Gakpo, who couldn't capitalise and couldn't finish that off. And in the end, a draw. Crystal Palace will definitely be the happier side. They extend their gap between themselves and the relegation places to 6 points. And Liverpool do go into 7th, but fail to close the gap even more to the top 4 and remain 6 points away with a game in hand. But there will be a little bit of disappointment with regards to how they've performed in this one. It wasn't Liverpool's best, but in the end at Selhurst Park, it's finished Crystal Palace 0, Liverpool 0.